We got some water pump goodies going here. So we got a socket is the exact diameter of our water pump seal. So we're gonna have to drill out this socket just a hair, a little bit bigger, and now our bolt will fit right through. So we tightened it barely and it slid right through, and then we got bearings and all that oiled up and got that ready for assembly. Again, this one we're using the socket and kind of just tapping it through. Fairly easy to get that in there, and there is our water pump shaft and bearings fully seated in, and then our impeller goes on the other side. We had to use like a vice grip on the other side to hold it while we tighten that on. Not sure if there's a better strategy to that, but that's just what we did. Now we have our gears here. This is our stock gears, and these are our MOPBOYZ gears. So the stock gears have a little diagonal style groove into them, and then the MOPBOYZ ones are straight cut gears. So we've done this on a lot of scooters before, and these are secondaries, so they're pretty easy to swap out. One's on the left is the stock one, right is the MOPBOYZ ones. The left ones are obviously diagonally cut. So we'll swap all those over. There's 3 little washers that go onto this part of the gear, and it's pretty much a washer and then a plastic washer and then another steel washer after that. So 3 of them stacked. As you can see there, it kind of makes a little Oreo action. And yeah, now the other shaft, took it over to the backyard press, and this thing had been pressed on by Goliath himself. I have no clue. It shattered my press. It blew out the seal, and all the oil leaked out of my press out the bottle jack part. So we hit a torch with it, hoping that maybe we can get it out, and nope, that did not work either. It destroyed my press. I cannot believe how hard this gear was. I've done this a million times on scooters, never had this problem. We had to take it over to a massive press, and even then, we had to torch this thing till it's glowing red to get this thing out. But we did it, and now we're back at the shop. Now you can see we have our bearing, circlip, and seal going on here in the main shaft of the gearbox. So basically everything is assembled now for the bare bones of things. We have that caliper brace, as I mentioned, and we have to get this on the frame as well. This is a stage 6 headset, and this is a needle bearing headset with conical bearings. I am very stoked on this. This is going to be sweet. So they're very easy. We popped this one out, the race on the top, easy as can be, did the same thing to the bottom, and then got those in there. We had to work on the forks because we had to drop these off at paint for the shocks themselves, so we just stripped those down really quick. I couldn't film too much because we had to rush them over to the paint shop before we got behind on the day. So did that, and on to the next thing for the runner. Well, boys, we just dropped off the wheels, just dropped off the fork, the shocks, because we took our shocks all apart for the front end, as you saw. We dropped those off to be painted. But more importantly, it is time to put our crank bearings in the engine. So here we got our crank bearings. We got our engine cases here. We got our water pump, our impeller on that side. Everything done on this side. We have our oil pump gutted. Now I have a strategy to keep this oiled. Don't worry, boys. For those of you who are going to say, you need to have this gear lubricated back here, it's going to be. Don't worry. But